For the last years, you've been searching without success for the same thing, a treasure that you can't get your hands on. You're following every trend, you're trying every business possible, you're buying every course without success. What you really want is your financial freedom. You want to get back your time, your energy, and you want to be able to spend it as you wish without having to restrain yourself. And I can fully understand that. My name is Falco. I've been trading for 7 years, sharing my positions for 4, and I've been using AI for 2.5 years. And today in this video, I'm gonna give you the exact blueprint that made me start from zero to being financially free, using only trading as a living and helping myself from the last tools available on the market. The ones that no one wants to give you for free because they give them an amazing edge. As you know, AI will replace a lot of things and traders will be part of it. This is your last chance to use the best technologies in the world at your advantage. You don't need a lot of money, you don't need any knowledge. What you need is staying from the beginning to the end of this video and to follow every step. I can't give you the time that you already lost into looking at fake gurus and crap courses. But what I can give you now is one last shot. I can give you access to all my knowledge publicly in this video so that you can start from zero, being an absolute beginner, even if you don't like math, to becoming a full-time trader. Of course, this will take time and you need to avoid putting your energy in different ways. Don't look at other videos. Watch this video again and again until you are done with it. Make sure to take notes. And if you have any questions, use the commentary section that I look every day to answer all of you. Are you ready? Before we start, make sure that your environment gives you the opportunity to go from beginning to the end of this video, and make yourself a promise. You will not skip any part of the video to go until the end. The value will be from the beginning to the end. And this strategy only works if you follow every step. If you miss even 1% of the video, you might lose everything. Last thing before we start, this is gonna be your worst enemy during your trading course. There will be notifications, scrolling addiction, and basically this is what makes you miss. This last years, you've been following a lot of courses, and every time you get defocused is because there's something else taking your attention. Stealing your attention is the thing that drives you down. It makes you stay where you're at, meaning as a complete beginner. So if you want to become professional in trading, take this phone and put the plane mode. You can even put it in another room if you feel like it. And if you're watching your video on your phone, make sure to put the mode that makes you avoid any notifications. I also recommend that you buy a real notebook and a pen so you're able to follow the course by really understanding, but also noting any questions you have so you can put them in the commentary section at the end. This is how you want to proceed before even going on your computer, on the graphs, or anything else. Watch this video one first time, avoid your phone, and everything will be fine. But before we get into the strategy that I took years to acquire and that I'm about to give you for free, here is my story as a trader. When it began, I was exactly at the same point as you are now. I was only thinking, if only I could change my situation, if only I could get more freedom, and if only I could get the money that was needed to become a full-time trader. And this was the whole problem. I was basically gambling. I was starting with 200, 300, 400 euros and trying to get a living, competing against multi-millionaire traders. I was basically the small fish that was getting hunted, and I had no chance of making any money on the markets. I was a guy with small capital trying to find an amazing strategy, a sort of secret that other people wouldn't have. This doesn't exist. You need to be consistent. You need to start from scratch and be ready at first to acquire skills before acquiring money. So instead of buying a lot of courses, changing mentors every week, and trying to find a strategy that you can acquire in 5 minutes, this is why I tell you, you only need this blueprint, but you need to follow it from the beginning to the end. When I understood that, I started taking action seriously, found one mentor, one strategy. When I understood that, I started taking action seriously and got some results. Results were small, but I knew that trading was only a question of numbers. The trade that you're gonna take that's gonna give you a 1% win on $1,000 is also gonna give you a 1% win on 1 million. Once you've got a profitable strategy, a good psychology, and the right tools, it's only a question of time before you actually live from trading. This gave me my transformation. I became fully independent after a few years, and compared to you, this was much longer. What I mean is that some students of mine made the same results as I and became fully profitable and free financially, geographically. They also can use their time as they wish, and they made that results in less time than I did because they just followed the blueprint. Basically, I went from if only to I did it. I started understanding investments when I got my eyes into crypto in 2020. This helped me to make over 100K just thanks to the markets. And right now I'm on my way to making $1 million with the exact same strategy. What I mean by that is that you don't need to evolve so much. You just need to make minor changes in a strategy that works just to keep up the page, because markets move, markets change, volume change, but you don't need to always look for the last trending strategy. And this is also the mistake of most people starting how to trade. You may recognize yourself into what I say now. You can use the comment section to tell me about how your path has been since the beginning in trading, but I think most of us made the same mistake. After that, I've been extracting the entirety of my accumulated knowledge over the past years to create this strategy, this blueprint that I'm about to introduce to you. And for me, it's the most optimized shortcuts to bring you to 1 million with me, because most of my students now have the same results that I do. Of course, the time that separates us makes me more wealthy than they are, but most of them manage to catch up quite quickly because they don't have to make the same mistakes that I did. They don't have to be in the shadows. They can basically just follow the shortcut and have the same result. In my strategy, there will be no secret indicator, no superpower that I have and that you wouldn't be able to have, no mentor. It's gonna be stats and AI. And when I talk about AI, I don't talk about any trading bot. I'm just talking about using the tools of our generation. And this is about small upgrades of this working and long-lasting strategy. I try to update it to keep in touch with what's on the market today. And AI obviously is a tool that can make you go faster, stronger, and of course, with better quality trades. Just to update you, this strategy gave me 0 negative months, and I'm not exaggerating. You can check the Telegram channel, which is in my bio, because I've been sharing basically all my trades. I have a track record showing everything, and we have a 1% maximum drawdown rule. So even the people using prop firms at this point managed to pass hundreds of challenges thanks to my trades. By the way, all this content is free, but if you want more, you have my Telegram where I share all my secret trades day after day. So if you wish to join, it's 100% for free. You've got my insights on markets, you've got premium content, updated videos that I post, and of course, daily analysis. 90% of the value is basically there. If you want to keep yourself updated, make sure to join now. And I know sometimes people talk about the strategies that have been working for years, but what about currently? Since September, we had less than 1% drawdown, 97% win rate, probably our best period, 5 trades a day approximately, and more than 30 hours of free course that has been given. So yes, the strategy is updated, it works, and you can use it basically anywhere, on a broker, on a prop firm, anywhere. By the way, you've got 15% off on any best funded challenge account if you wish to be a prop firm trader. It's in the description. It's the only partnership that I have because I use it myself and I've met plenty of payouts. If you wish to have a prop firm that fits to the strategy I'm going to present you, well, you basically have a discount. Everything's in the description. I let you handle that. So basically, I started helping others when I saw that my strategy was global. It was not simply a strategy that was linked to my way of thinking, to my environment, or to my life. First, it was friends. But after that, I've been sharing it on the internet because it helped people making payouts on basically a lot of prop firms and a lot of brokers. So I started helping a lot. And most of you share their results to me every day in the Telegram. I hope that you're going to be the next one. At this moment, we are approaching $450,000 of withdrawal in Team Falco. And when I mean withdrawal, I mean only profit, not the capital that someone would put on a broker and take off. But there was still something missing, something that I will give you now, a system created with the best specialists, the blueprint. So be ready to take notes. Now let's start with the basics. What is trading? As you know, trading is the process of buying and selling financial assets in order to make profit from the fluctuations. Meaning, there's nothing complicated as long as you understand how the system works. Retails lose because they think they have impact. But as a matter of fact, the volumes that are traded every day make you non-existent on the market. What you need to understand is how the price moves, who is making the price move, and how you can do like them. before the rest of the world. So basically, why is it the best opportunity that you can start in 2026? I don't count trading as a business, unlike other traders, other gurus that you can see on the internet, simply because trading is making money with money. But it's also what makes it the best opportunity in 2026. You have a skill that you will learn for the rest of your life. You will have no stock, no employees. You're going to be mobile. You can scale infinitely. And basically, it's something that will be long term. Because as I told you, you will start with a small account, make it grow. But if you're patient enough, you can scale infinitely. Meaning what you're about to learn now will stay until you die. This is why you need to take notes, and this is why you need to go until the end of this blueprint. Before we start trading on the markets, we need a plan, okay? Anyone which is a professional, for example, a plane pilot, needs a plan to know where it's going to be landing, okay? When he starts, because you will need some resources that would be different if you want to go, if you want to use trading to make a few bucks every day, or if you want to live from it. Meaning, right now, you can choose by answering all those questions what your plan will be, and you need to follow it. So this is maybe the key moment. This is maybe what you missed. You didn't know what you were supposed to look for and what efforts you had to put in to make it a result. So at this moment, you should be taking notes and putting every questions on a paper. You can also take a screenshot of this 90-day plan if you wish. But basically, if you answer all those questions, you will become much more likely to be profitable. I wrote 90 days because after 90 days, you might want to apply changes to this plan. And when I say changes, I mean minor changes, because of course, your trading will evolve, your life will evolve. Imagine that you get a kid in the next month. Well, basically you might have less time to put in your trading. So you might want to change the strategy and the game plan. The important thing is that you start now, that you stick to it for 3 months, and that you come back on this video, put yourself a reminder on your phone to change it again in 3 months. Even if the changes are minor, you will have some. So for those 90 days, here are the 5 questions that we need to answer at first, okay? All of them are as important as taking a position on the market. The first question is, how do you trade, okay? Where is the money? Are you going to be trading on a real account or on a prop firm? For those asking what those are, let me explain. A real account is an account that you will open on a broker, meaning you will put your own money at risk. Whenever you make profit, you will be able to withdraw your money and the profit, or only your profit if you wish to continue trading. Concerning brokers, some of them are not really where you want to put your funds. So if you have any questions concerning that, you can send me a message directly on the Telegram group on the description. I answer to everyone and I will tell you what brokers to avoid. The good thing about the real account is that you're going to have no rules. This is something great. You can trade as you wish, but it's also something negative because that means you can do anything without knowing that it's a dangerous behavior as a trader. Basically, when they start, people use brokers. Less rules, more freedom. And by the way, much more reliable if you have a small capital. So if you have between $500 and $2,000, I suggest you start with a broker. On the other hand, how do you trade? It can be a prop firm. A prop firm is basically a company that will let you pass a challenge. And if you respect a certain amount of rules and conditions, they will give you an account where you can keep a part of the profit made. Meaning, if you make, for example, 8% and then they make you another challenge and you make 5% of profit without making a certain amount of loss, they will give you 100,000 of capital and you're able to keep 85% of the profit made on the account. It's not your capital. If you lose it, you just lose the ability to trade on it, but you don't have to refund anything, and they give you a certificate. To be honest, if you have a certain level that you've been trading for years, that your problem is not your psychology or sticking to a plan, but only the strategy, this might be a good option. But remember, you have to pay for your challenge, and the money you're going to put inside it is probably what you should have put on your real account. Meaning, if you miss the challenge, if you break some rules, you will start back at zero and lose the money that you put in the challenge. So this is a risky choice. Do you feel like you have a good level? Do you feel like you can respect difficult rules? Then you might have to choose prop firm. If you feel like you need time and you want to start low, this is what I personally did, well, choose the broker. And for that, make sure to have the right broker. Good conditions, a nice bonus, and not a hidden problem. If you want to make sure to not have a crap broker, I told you, you have a link in the descriptions to send me a message directly. I'm the one to answer. I don't want to give publicly the broker I use because its conditions are not really publicly known. They are the best on the market. There's an amazing bonus. And this helped me to scale when I started. I prefer to give it to the really active members of my community. So the first link of the description sends me a message directly on Telegram. Now, we know how to trade. If you chose prop firm or real account, you're all set up. If you need to think, put pause on this video, rewatch everything I just said, and come back with a choice. Now, we're going to be talking about when. This is an important matter, more than you think. You have different sessions in trading. You have the UK session, Asian session, or US session. And basically, those three sessions have different advantage and disadvantage. Some of them have more liquidity, like the US session, but this makes them more dangerous. Let me reassure you on one point. You can find opportunities on any session you want. The only important thing is to make sure that you will be fully available at that time, every day, and fully concentrated on trading. Most people choose a strategy and try to work with it, but I really want you to make sure that you don't change for trading. You might have goals or a family outside trading, and you don't want trading to take all your energy. This was one of the mistakes I made when I started. So please, if you know that you're more valuable on the Asian session, even if there's less liquidity at that time, you can choose it. The blueprint I'm about to give you works at any moment, any session, any time. You don't have to worry about that. Now that you chose your session, third question, what do you trade? Basically, you have a lot of choice here. Crypto, stocks, indexes, forex, and metals. In my opinion, trading everything gives you no expertise. It's gonna make you a complete beginner. This is why I chose only two assets to trade. I chose Bitcoin and I choose gold. Why? Because in my strategy and with my tools, there are the two assets that work the most. In the blueprint, we're going to be talking only about examples on Bitcoin and gold, because this is where we make the profit in the group in the description. But feel free to choose Forex or stocks if you feel that you have more knowledge with them. The good thing about gold and Bitcoin is that they are linked, but also because they complete themselves. In the week, gold is the asset where there's the most liquidity and volatility. So this is where I find the great opportunities. On the other hand, Bitcoin is more shy until weekend, because on the weekend you have nothing to trade. Gold markets are closed. Bitcoin remains open and you're able to trade it on nearly any platform at any time. This is what makes it a great asset. I recommend that you choose both, but if you want to make a different choice, I fully respect it. Now, who do you trade with? What is your strategy and what tools will you be using? Those questions are important. I suppose that if you want to follow me and that you're still here during this video, that you want to have the same strategy as I do, meaning the blueprint. But if you want to use your own strategy, but if you want to use any other strategy, you need to write it down in your plan now. Concerning the tools, we'll be using AI, but I will also give you a complete list of what you will need. Don't worry, there's nothing with fees. Most of the tools are free, and I try to make my strategy available for anyone. But if you need softwares, you need to include your costs at this moment into your 90 days plan, because they will play on your psychology. If you have $100 of fees every month concerning your trading because you have a software or because you bought a computer, it needs to be written down. Last but not least, why do you trade? So basically here, what is your goal? What is your why? What's your game plan? And what's your tempo? What I mean by tempo is most people, when they start trading, is because they don't have a great situation. But how bad is your situation? If you need to give money to someone in the next 2 weeks, well, I can't help you. I'm not trying to get desperate people to risk what they have with a magic strategy. It doesn't work that way, and I don't want you to feel that way. If that's the case, turn down your computer, go sleep, and come back tomorrow. You need to be thinking long term to have a precise goal, and your game plan needs to adapt to those. So is your goal living from trading fully, partially? Is trading a hobby? And do you have a why? I don't really believe in those motivation videos that help you to find success, but something that really helped me is to find a why. Why I was opening the charts every day. Why was I working when other people were going to parties? All of that is very important. When we finish all of those questions, I'm gonna give you exactly how you can find your why. It's a 2-minute exercise, and after that, you'll be set up. Now, let me teach you how to find your why. This is like a kind of abstract concept that we're gonna try to adapt to trading and make real inside your life. So basically, your why is what drives you, what makes you go through the hard way, through sacrifices to get your goals done. And as I told you, I'm not one of the motivation gurus that you can see on the internet. I'm gonna try to provide only things that make results happen. And here, the why is going to be very easy to determine. What you're gonna do is take a piece of paper and note the 10 most important things to you. The 10 things that you absolutely want to achieve in your life. If you had to die tomorrow, I hope it's not gonna happen for any of you guys, but what would be the 10 important things? You can note anything. You can note a car. You can write down the car that you really want to, you can write down the car that you really want to acquire, maybe the countries that you want to go and how the travel would be. But what's important is that you need to put the most details possible so that you can visualize this target, this goal. You can just try to write 10 down. It can be something that you want to do or buy for your family. It can be the house. But the important thing is to note how this house will be, where it's going to be situated, what will be the view from the house. Once you've been noting those 10 elements on your piece of paper, you're ready to go through the next step. If not, put pause on the video, write them down and come back. Okay, I suppose you're done now. So now you'll be taking off 5 elements of the piece of paper. So you're going to go from 10 to 5. You need to keep the 5 most important ones. Difficult thing to do, but this is really going to drive you and learn you what is your real why. Normally, you should have only 5 elements on your piece of paper now. If not, you can still put pause. But if you're done, take off 3 more. And normally, you should have only 2 left. I think now you see what we're going to do at the end. If not, put pause and come back to me. Okay. Now you have 2 elements on your piece of paper. This is going to be the final decision. Take one off and keep one last element. This is going to be your most important thing in life, the thing that you really want to achieve, the thing that drives you, the thing that makes you go up every morning. Most people will answer their family, make someone proud, or gain freedom. Try to be more precise. This last element, you should be ready to sacrifice anything else because time is going so fast that if you want to decide to do trading today, you know it's a long path. You know it takes a lot of energy. So if you start, you should be ready to go no matter what to the end of this goal to make your why happen. Do you have your why yet? If not, put this chapter back and start again. Take your time. Now, what do the 90% of losers do on the market? This is a really important chapter of this video because it will bring you to not do the same. The behaviors of human beings on the market make it long-lasting. Most of retail traders feed the big banks. The 10% of profitable traders, even them, are dominated by a 0.1% of banks gathering most of the money, most of the profit. And they play on psychology and on weaknesses of every human being. So you don't want to do what a majority of traders do. What is that? Well, basically, they trade with emotions, they trade with feelings. They don't really have a system. They react to what the market gives them. They try to get where the price is going. They ask themselves a lot of questions. They are easy to move. And this is the major weakness of most people. They think, oh, maybe the market is going this way, so I have to do that. Or maybe I will adapt. Or maybe I should trade another asset today. Basically, they get moved by what the market gives them. They don't have a plan. They don't have a security. They don't have a mechanical strategy to follow. Each of them, and we've all been doing like that, you know? We've all been chasing the opportunity of the day, using a new strategy, of thinking price might do that, so I'm gonna take a buy today. Basically, they will trade each situation differently, and this always leads to loss. On the other hand, why we are profitable is because we use math and AI. So basically, we are basing our strategy on stats and AI to win time, money, and to avoid being emotional, to avoid getting out of the system. This is the most important thing. The trap is easy to see, but everyone falls into it. Now, let me show you how you can be part of the 10% of profitable traders with one single mechanical strategy. Now, what do the 10% of winners do? And by the way, you don't really want to be just part of the 10% of winners. You want to be part of the 1% that win the most out of them, because even if 9 people out of 10 lose, the 10% of people winning might be just winning $1. And this is the whole thing. Whatever the subject is, if you want to become wealthy, you need to be part of the 0.1% or the 1%. Think about boxing. You might be part of the 10% of people winning money into boxing. It's not just a hobby, but it doesn't make you a wealthy person thanks to boxing. You might be winning $50 at every fight you take. So what you really want is becoming a real expert at what you do and be part of the 0.1 or 1% of the people. And here, the winners always having the same behaviors. So the first thing is that most people that start to trade want to go too fast. When they win money, they want to show it to everyone. They claim that they understood how it works, but they're fooling themselves. And you might have been in this situation before. I have. When you start, you think that every win makes you confident and that this confidence is a strength. It's not. Winning might be the worst thing that can happen to you. The important thing is to embrace loss and understand that it will happen no matter what. Since September, in the Telegram group that you have in the description of this video, we've been making 97% of win rate, which is incredible. But still, we've been losing 3% of the time. So if you risk all your capital, even with 97% of win rate, you will finish by losing all your money. This is why trading is really difficult, because you need to look for a consistent growth, not a fast one. And as you can see on the screen, you've got two types of traders. You have the green trader. This trader will take a lot of time to achieve what the red trader actually makes in a day. His growth is going to be small. He's going to take a lot of time to make an account go from zero profit to a lot. On the other hand, you have the red trader. Basically, he risks a lot on every trade. And in a majority of times, as you can see, he is winning. His first trade might be good. Maybe we can say he made $1,000 on his first trade. Why? Because he risks it all. Actually, this guy is going to cut his profit really early. He's going to secure it really early. Doesn't put any stop loss and just bets on beating the market. Maybe on the first loss, as he doubled his account, he's only going to lose $1,000, meaning his current profit, or even a little bit less. Then he's going to make money again, and he's going to explode his profit. He might be winning $3,000 or $4,000 on the next trade. But at the end, he's going to lose it all. At the end, even his initial balance is loss. On the other hand, you have the green trader. He's going to take a lot of time, include loss in his plan. He's going to secure his trades quickly, and he will not try to beat the market. He will try to follow it, follow the trend, follow the rules, and follow this quote that is written on the screen. This is a personal thing I say to all my students. Or you don't have enough time, or you don't have enough capital. Remember that, and you will never blow an account anymore. Basically, when you start, there are two options when you have a profitable strategy. There is only one thing, and this is the great part in it. There's only one thing stopping you from being a millionaire, or time, or capital. If you have, let's say, 10 million capital, making 1 million is only making 10%. If you make 10% every month, then you just need to wait for a month. It's math, basic. Now let's imagine that you have only $1,000. Your strategy works. Now you just need 10 or 15 years to make a million starting from this $1,000. As long as you follow your plan. The more you put capital on your trading account, the more you get close. So the less time you need to spend to become a millionaire. On the other hand, the more time you put in your trading, the less money you need to put on the table. You cannot beat those two important factors. Otherwise, you will always go back to zero. So you can try to beat the market. You can try to make it a sort of lucky move and become a red trader. But disclaimer, you will lose it all. And if it's not today, it will be tomorrow. You will never progress. Your knowledge means nothing. You will have no plan and you will never become profitable. Or you can start avoiding easy ways to make money. Have a real strategy, have a real mindset that I'm trying to give you now, and become the green trader. If you do it that way, it will take time. You might have to put money back on your account for months, years, or even decades. But eventually, if you follow your plan, stick to it, you will become a millionaire. If that's really what you want, you're in the right place and you know what you do. Now, let me give you a few rules to be part of the 10%. And those rules are basically the rules that every student that made it became profitable and is now fully living from trading is actually using in every trade he takes. So the first thing is you need 1% of maximum loss per trade. As you can see, next to that is written AI, simply because you can automate all of this process of calculating your risk with different AIs now. And our system makes it easy. All my AI tools and courses are available in the link in the description for free, so use them wisely. This 1% maximum risk per trade makes your account impossible to blow in a small amount of time. This makes you become the green trader. Second rule, after 2 losses, you need to stop trading for the day. If you combine the first rule and the second rule, you can't lose more than 2% of your trading account every day. Meaning that even if you're on prop firm, you respect every prop firm's rule. This is why my strategy is so global. This is why so many different type of people make it happen. Third rule, after 20 to 40 pips, that's up to you, you have to secure your trade. You can even take a small amount of profit. This is what I personally do. This small amount of profit will cover fees, and if the market moves a lot, it makes you have zero risk of the market going back. It makes you unexposed to big market movements on the wrong way. Same. This is something you can fully automate thanks to AI. Fourth, always trade the trend. You obviously know that the trend is your friend, but basically the market is always following a trend. It's never gonna be linear, meaning there will be retracements. The market will not go straight up. It will eventually go down, but still the trend is gonna be bullish when your lows are always gonna be higher and your highs always higher. But we'll see the trends after that in this course. Basically, what you need to understand is that you always need to stick to the trend. 5, you never go against your previous trade. It might seem weird, but sometimes the trend will change. And if it does, you might want to change your analysis. And this leads you to going out of your plan. And you don't want that. It's better to lose an opportunity or to not take a trade than to go against your previous analysis. This will destroy your psychology, and in most cases you will be wrong. So even if you were wrong in the previous trade, even if the trend is changing, if you took a buy, you need to remain with buys or stop trading. 6, you always need to wait for retracements, and mostly for them to end. We'll see that in the strategy, but you need to always follow these 6 very simple rules if you want to use our blueprint and become a real profitable trader. Now, what next do you need? Before I leave you guys today, I just want to remind you that a lot of very long and complete videos will be available on this YouTube channel. You really need to wait. This video is going to be in a playlist, and a lot of following episodes will give you anything that you need to be a profitable trader. The blueprint is not finished, it's just starting. But you really need to subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, put a like, put a follow, and comment this video with the questions you have. This will help me to make the episodes that actually suits to your needs. But this is not the only thing. The second thing is don't stay alone. Most traders lose money because they are not in the right environment. Basically, the most important things that you need at this point is a community, a mentor, and answers to your questions by real human beings. This is really what drives me and avoided all the problems. Of course, I struggled because at that time, when I started trading 7 years ago, social media and people talking about trading like you and me were much more rare. But today you have the chance to have a lot of people thrilled to discuss about those subjects. You also have a lot of bad people trying to make you buy anything. Let me reassure you. Of course, you have my course in the description of this video if you wish to have a more premium option. But before anything is posted here, a lot of courses are given live in the group that is in the description. And if you want to join the Falco community, you'll also have all my personal positions, the ones that I take with this strategy every day in the group, but also real people here to answer any questions you have. And this is probably the last, but not the less important tip that I have to give you today. If you start trading, you might be alone. You might not know who to talk to, what questions, and you might be on forums or groups on the internet where you can't really evaluate the level of people talking to you. And by the way, they might have different strategies and bring you to non-profitability at the end. In the group, everyone is using the same blueprint. Everyone is making money with it, and you can be part of this community totally for free. Links in the descriptions. Hope you enjoyed the video. As part of the blueprint, you've been learning the basics that you will need to actually start in good conditions. Make sure that you watch the next video that is in the playlist so you can follow the full course. Everything is for free, so you can share it to a friend, like and comment if you wish to support us. You can also press the subscribe button. It's free and it helps you to get notifications in the next part of the videos going out.